Hello students, as I explained earlier that retrenchment strategies are one of the grand strategies in the field of strategic management in business. The other strategies apart from retrenchment strategies which are part of grand strategies are number one, stability strategies, number two, expansion strategy, and then retrenchment strategies, which we will discuss in this video lecture, and of course a combination of all these three strategies, which is called the combination of strategies. Welcome to my class. A retrenchment strategy is adopted when a company wants to reduce one or more business operations. A company may want to completely close down one business, and a company may want to close down one arm of its business. Why do the companies do it? With a view to cut expenses, and it wants to reach to a more stable financial position. Essentially, there are four kinds of retrenchment strategies. One is called turnover strategy, sorry, turn around strategy, not turnover, turn around strategy, in which you turn the things around. Make something which is burning cash to perhaps something which is breaking even. Turn around, to turn the things around, as they say. Second is called captive company strategy, in which the company which wants to retrench, it becomes a kind of a captive unit for another company, which could be its competition. The third strategy is divestment strategy or sellout strategy, in which the company which is ailing or a company which wants to retrench, it sells out to another business. And the fourth strategy is liquidation strategy. It is also called bankruptcy strategy. In America, mostly it's called bankruptcy strategy. In liquidation strategy, the company aims at liquidating all its assets to be able to pay off the debtors. So these are four kind of retrenchment strategies. Once again, the turnaround strategy, captive company strategy, sellout strategy, or divestment strategy, and fourth is liquidation or bankruptcy strategy. A retrenchment might occur when some of the following happens. The company may be faced with a situation where its output has reduced considerably because the market conditions might have changed. The product or the services which the company is offering may not find a favor with the current market situation. So naturally, there will be job losses and there will be redundancy programs. Okay. Sometimes a company might want to withdraw a product from the market because it is foreseeing that the product has outlived his life. It is at the end of product life cycle. Once in a while, a management, because of various reasons, may be wanting to dispose the business unit. A retrenchment program, which is normally which is accompanied by large scale loss of jobs, closure of companies, general restructuring of the organization, lot of retrenchment of labor, sometimes because the company has a new leadership, or the company has a new there is a change of ownership. A company may want to run a retrenchment program. A company may also need to run a retrenchment program when there are excessively high cost and the profitability is low. So to say that these losses have become unsustainable if there is low return on capital employed, or if there are cash flow problems, if a company is facing continuous erosion of its market share, if a company has built up an organization with a view to take over a company, or if it had wanted to get another company merged with it, but that thing has not succeeded, so there may be large scale retrenchment. And of course, sometimes because of the economic downturn, there may be retrenchment. We have seen that during the pandemic, during the COVID period, there were large scale retrenchments, especially in micro, small and medium sector organizations in India. The first type of retrenchment strategy is called turnaround. Turnaround strategy, sometimes also referred to as transformation strategy, it emphasizes the improvement of operational efficiency and is perhaps the best way of a turnaround, in the sense it does not lead to the closure of the company completely, or it does not lead to the selling of that of assets, or it does not lead to more widespread retrenchment or job losses. So turn around to turn the facility from a loss making facility to a profit making facility. So there are three phases of this effort. First is called contraction. In contraction, the initial effort is to quickly stop the losses, and there is an all-out attack to find out where is the company losing, from where it is bleeding, and then you kind of stop that loss of blood, loss of company resources, and you cut the size of operations. This is called contraction. So after you have carried out the contraction, you start to consolidate. So consolidation means that once you have put an end to losses, you quickly revive confidence of your people, rally people around in the company, and you consolidate your strengths. You have already cut the losses and you have already taken care of your weaknesses in contraction. Now you consolidate by leveraging your strength, and you implement a program to stabilize the new company. Okay, so maybe you will say, I will not make any sales in which there are losses, and I will find out my profitable customers and I'll go to them with more vigor, with better programs. I will reduce, or I'll stop processes which are a drain on the company's resources. So that was contraction. Now you consolidate, you develop a program, you implement the program, and you stabilize the new company, which is a leaner company. Okay, and the result of contraction and consolidation is the rebirth of a new organization, which has been turned around by now, and the losses have been stopped. If not stopped completely, then the losses have ebbed away, losses have reduced to a great extent, and this is the rebirth of a new company which is on its way to prosperity. The second type of retrenchment strategy is what is called the captive company strategy. In this strategy, what is involved is that the company which is facing a precarious situation, it gives up its independence in exchange for some security. So for example, if a company is weak in its competitive position, so it may not be able to successfully implement the turnaround strategy for a number of reasons. So in such cases, the management of such companies, they look for a angel kind of a person or a company, and they offer to that company that, okay, we will become your captive company. Sometimes a company may offer its facilities to one of its large customers, or maybe to another player in the industry. So this will guarantee some kind of a continued existence of the to the company which is undertaking retrenchment exercise. In this way, the company may be able to reduce the scope of some functional activities, and it will be able to reduce cost. So in case the company is also in a position to ensure that the facility is not closed down, and there are no large scale retrenchments. There may be job cuts, and there may be cost cuts, and there may be many activity cuts, but the the operations of the company still remain, and the company may become kind of dependent, or a kind of a slave is a very strong word. It may become a kind of a captive company to a bigger company to whom it has offered its product and services. So take the example of a television manufacturing company which is undergoing huge losses, and it is not able to compete in the market. So it may offer its manufacturing facility to another television manufacturing rival, which is a very big company, and which is having a very strong presence in the market. And it may become a captive company, so they will manufacture for their erstwhile rival. So they may be in a position to protect some jobs. So this is captive company strategy. The third strategy in retrenchment strategy is what is called sellout or divestment strategy. So if a corporation, if a company is very weak in its competitive position and it is unable to pull itself up, or it is unable to find a customer or a competitor to which it can become a captive company, it may have no choice but to sell out. So a sellout strategy makes sense if the management can still obtain a good price for its shareholders and its employees, and employees can keep their jobs by selling the entire company to another company. The hope is that the other company to which this company is selling, they will have the necessary resources and management determination to return the company to profitability. So this is called sellout or divestment strategy. This one is the last of the retrenchment strategy, and in the order of preference, this is the last option actually left for a company. If a company is not able to turn around itself, if a company is not able to become a captive company to another rival or a customer, if a company is not able to sell off or divest, uh, then the company has no other recourse but to go for liquidation. So when a company finds itself in the worst possible situation with a poor competitive position in the industry, and it has nobody is interested in buying this weak company, the company can it can either pursue bankruptcy or liquidation strategy. Bankruptcy is very common in America, and bankruptcy also, people are declaring themselves bankrupt in India, but not all people declare themselves bankrupt with lot of with much joy. It is considered a kind of a stigma. Bankruptcy involves get, but it is considered a stigma, but it should not be. Businesses can fail, and bankruptcies can occur, they can happen in spite of the best intention of the management to make the company profitable. So bankruptcy involves giving up management of the firm to the courts for some settlement of company's obligation. If the company has some debtors to pay, the top management, it hopes that once the court decides the claim of the company will become stronger and will be able to compete in a more attractive industry, uh, in some other industry. In contrast to bankruptcy, which seeks to in contrast to bankruptcy, there is liquidation or termination of a company. So when a company is so unattractive and the company is so weak, liquidation is a prudent strategy for distressed companies. So management may choose to convert as many sellable assets as possible into cash, and the cash may be distributed to shareholders after all obligations are paid off. The benefit of liquidation over bankruptcy is that the board of directors, uh, as representative of the shareholders, together with management, they make decisions instead of turning them over to a bankruptcy court. In liquidation, the decision is made by the top management. Okay, and at times, liquidation strategy has to be adopted, although nobody wants to be in a stage where somebody has to liquidate the company. Liquidation means complete closure of the company.